Alright, today we're taking a look at the art and making of X-Men 97, the animated series. This was a pleasant surprise when it came out on Disney. I was a big fan of the X-Men animated series when I was a kid. I think that theme song has been stuck in my head for probably the last 30 years at this point. So if you want to pause here, just get a feel for what's in the book. It's about 250 pages. It goes through the first season, character concepts, key arts, a little bit of text about different episodes. I've always enjoyed the art style of this, the blockier characters, the very clean line work, as well as similar to Arcane that we were looking at the other day, just the simpler colors, rendering. I know I'm not as knowledgeable with animation, but I think especially during this time period, that was much more common just due to the cost of animation, being able to consistently animate characters frame to frame, scene to scene, being able to really simplify forms, simplify shading. So we've got kind of the main cast of characters here, at least from season 1. I believe season 2 is on the way, at least as of the time of this recording. So there is some in-depth here, talking about how the shading is done, kind of the default top-down lighting that they use. So there is quite a bit of text in here too. I've had this book for at least a few months now, I believe, and I've read a couple sections. Specifically, you'll see the tabs as I'm going through this. I like to put tabs in anything that I want to go back in, either a section I want to read, or if there's maybe a character I want to get some practice drawing and have more references. For example, this one, I know Cyclops is a character I want to go back and draw and get more familiar with, so tag this page. Yep, so Sunspot, this is some of the different design variations for them, different costumes. And same thing here. I'm going to just skip through some of these pages. We're not going to go page by page. A lot of character turnarounds in here too, which is pretty nice. At some point, as I do get into drawing more of this, that'll make for some nice references, being able to see so many of the characters from different angles as you're drawing different poses. Magneto. So some of the variations here. I am a big fan of the design they ended up going with the large M. Although this one kind of reminds me of Count Dooku from the Star Wars prequel movies. That would have been pretty cool as well. Yeah, so as we go through the episodes, I think it's kind of depending on who the main focus as far as characters in the episodes are. There are little bios on each one. Jean Grey, Dark Phoenix. So I can't say I've read a lot of the comics. I've read some over the years, and then I watched, just whatever was on TV for the cartoon when I was a kid. So not that I've seen every episode by any means. There were a lot of characters, Jubilee, Wolverine, Jean Grey, that I was familiar with. And then there were some characters, like this guy, can't remember his name, that I had never seen before going back and watching the new 97. I like this section quite a bit. This is an episode where they get thrown into, I guess it would be a retro gaming system, like a Super Nintendo. So just seeing everything, the characters animated back in that style of a Super Nintendo game again, but with some modern day polish added. That was a very cool episode to see, and really enjoyed the, having a few pages of art specifically looking at that here. So it probably doesn't need to be said, but at this point, just be careful if you haven't seen this and you're sensitive to spoilers. There will be some in here just from different character designs or situations that kind of give away what happens to them, at least throughout the first season. Again, as the time of this, only season 1 is out, so there's nothing beyond that in this book. There's a 90s character design for you. It looks like something out of, I don't know, maybe He-Man or something. I always thought it was interesting, all the, let's say, the cosmic level characters, you know, that X-Men and the Marvel stuff gets into, the just very, very 80s and 90s vibe. Nice blown up piece of Rogue. Same thing here, a little more breakdown with her, some poses. Skipping ahead some pages here. This is a show I've gone back and rewatched a handful of times. It's always, you know, there's continuity between the episodes, but to some extent they are kind of on their standalone. So this is just a nice show to be able to throw on when I'm on the treadmill or just want to have something to watch. Not to mention they did a great job of, say somewhat remixing the theme song from the original show. It's pretty good in the new one as well. So we see some characters outside of X-Men show up here. I think Captain America is one too. There's more other X-Men versions. Yeah, there we got Iron Man. Yeah, and some more characters here. So some of these I didn't know who they were until I've been playing Marvel Rivals, well, since it came out, I suppose. So I recognize Cloak and Dagger now. I wouldn't have before. Yeah, I think this is Omega Red. I remember him from the old X-Men arcade games. He was one of the characters there. He's a pain in the ass to fight. All right, so that's the flip through. Like I said, about 220 pages. This is another one, really good value for the money in my opinion. They fit a lot into this book. You get a lot of good, let's say, finished product pictures, as well as a lot of, you know, the making of the different concepts. You get to see, you know, the methodology for animating, for lighting. It really does go into quite a bit of detail. So this is one I would highly recommend, and the price has dropped significantly since this came out.